With little to no experience, I now have a combined following of over 100,000 followers on 3 social media platforms for my small business, and this video is going to be all about how I did it and what I can tell you so you can do the same. So for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Lottie, owner of Vintage Living Home, and I upcycle furniture. I post videos about it on social media, and I also sell vintage homeware. A little backstory about my business. I actually started it when I was 13 years old, which is over 12 years ago now, and within a year I actually had a shop that I opened on weekends. I have had jobs in between to pay bills and rent and all that sort of thing, but last April I had a change of circumstance and I decided to quit my job that was paying my bills to start up the business full-time again. I also promised myself that I would do everything I could to make sure that I'd never have to get a job again. And I can tell you that I still haven't had to, and I don't think I will have to, unless I want to. So what I decided when I first started that I would focus on TikTok to start with, because I found that I really enjoyed the platform. I really enjoyed the content and I wanted to produce content like that. I also didn't have many family members that were on TikTok, so I could embarrass myself. I could find my content style without having to see my family the next day and then wonder what the hell I'm doing. So I started on TikTok. I now have about just over 46,000 followers on there, which is crazy. And how I done it, at the start, I decided I was not going to show my face. I was not going to do a voiceover. I was going to give people as little as possible. This was because I was self-conscious. I didn't want to show myself. I didn't want to give anyone any reason to comment on me. And I literally started with a £20 tripod from Amazon and my phone. And I filmed as close as possible to what I was doing. So I literally filmed right above my hand when I was sanding, right above my hand when I was painting, and I showed the end result, and that was it. I started to get around 600 to 700 views per video, which I was so happy with. I then started to get French Chic, the paint I used, want to use my videos, which blew my mind. And then I started to get a bit more confident and I did a voiceover, or I showed my face at the start or something like that. And that's when I started to get more and more views and followers. And then I started to realise what was working. So when I first started, I used, it's called a hook at the start of the video. It's the first 10 seconds of the video, and it is the most important 10 seconds of that whole video. I started saying, I bought this piece off Facebook Marketplace for £10 and I turned it into 250, however much I sold it for. And I started to realise that that was doing it really well. Within 5 videos of doing that, I got a video of over 250,000 views. That also gained me around 5,000 to 6,000 followers just off that one video. But I was noticing that people were really concentrating on the hook and the fact that it was £10 and I made 250, like people didn't like that, or they were saying, can she do that? Or they were just questioning it. And I was finding that people were concentrating on the hook more than the actual product and the video. And to start with, I did not want to be an influencer. I did not want to be a teacher. I just wanted to sell my furniture. So it wasn't really working. I carried on because it was giving me views and followers, and that's what I wanted to start with. But I did slowly change it up, and now I don't really use that hook unless I want some good following or videos. So I now use something like, I'm using a brand new colour, see what colour it is. Or I've turned something I got on Facebook Marketplace into country chic. Or I just find different things that I can. If a piece is really interesting, then I use that to my advantage. Another thing which is so important is how long the video is. I find a video that is between 1 minute and 2 minutes is the best recipe for success. Any longer, I find that people do just switch off. They get to about 1.5 minutes, they see that it's not really going anywhere very quickly, and then they just sort of turn off. Or if it's under 1 minute, you're not really giving them enough for them to be really involved and want to follow you. What I will say is I do give a lot away in my videos. I have a really informative voiceover, and I also do show a lot of my process. When you first start social media, I would very much set boundaries for yourself that you're willing to give away. If you do not want to give away your secrets, that is absolutely fine. You do not have to. You just might not want to do such an informative voiceover, or you might not want to give so much away. And you might just not gain the following so quickly, but you will still gain it. It just will be a bit slower. I have actually found the love for teaching and all that sort of stuff. So I actually really enjoy helping people. Don't get me wrong, there is a level, and that's one thing I will say is that people will just take. So make sure you stick to your boundary if you've set one. I'll give you an example of messages that I get every week, sometimes every day. I will give you an example of one that I got last week. This is a message on one of the social media platforms. I have a son that does nothing, and I want them to do what you do. Please tell me your sander, and I will have a list of tools from you that you use on a daily. Yes, that is how it was put. I also would be interested to know how you price your items, and when it comes to couriers, how much are you charging? Who are you using? And also, can you just give me any secrets that you think that he will need? It did go on from there, but one thing I will say is that do not give everything away, whether you want to teach or not. And that is something that I promise myself, that I will give away the secrets I'm willing to give away, which for me is quite a lot, but some others it might not. So just have boundaries. Another thing is comments. That is probably one of the most important things. Reply to every comment you can. One thing I struggled with, because I was just into buying the piece and selling it, I was wanting to interact with people so much to say. I think I did slack on replying to comments, and that's one thing that I wish I could go back and do, and that is just reply to more. I did reply to a lot, but just it wasn't one of my main focuses. Don't get me wrong, it will become like a full-time job, but reply to as many comments as you can. With comments, you will also get haters. If you follow me for a long time on TikTok, you will know that I've had my fair share of haters. And at the start, I really struggled. I really took them to heart. If you are very sensitive, I would say really try and protect yourself and be careful, because there is a lot of horrible people online. It will open you up to how many people are actually like that. Now I just look at it, laugh and think, that's sad. So I wouldn't worry too much about these people. You will never meet them. You never have to worry about them. But that is something you're going to get. Now, when it comes to monetization, don't get me wrong, it's not going to make you a millionaire, but it does certainly help for all the effort you put in. And that is something on TikTok that I got quite a long time ago. You get it when you hit 10,000 followers, and you also get paid for any video that is over a minute. And my best month is about £900 for that month, and most of it was based on one viral video. So that is quite good. Facebook, I've only just been monetized on, because I've only just started focusing on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook probably earns similar. It's just slightly different. Instagram, you don't get monetized on, but what I will say is Instagram has created me the most sales. So if you're worried about sales, definitely get on Instagram. So I think that is everything. If I've missed anything and you didn't get what you wanted from this video, do comment below and I will try and answer. Also, if it's not about social media, still comment, because I can make another video on other things. I am really enjoying helping people with their business. So if you do want help with anything, just comment it below, message me, and I will try and help. But my main advice on social media and upcycling is just do it. Just do it. If you have a video that you want to post but you're too scared to, post the video. If you want to learn about upcycling, buy that piece of furniture and upcycle it. You will learn as you go, and that will be your best friend. So I hope this video's helped. Like I said, any comments below I will try and answer, and also please could you subscribe, because this will really help me. And I will see you in the next video, and I think it's going to be an upcycling one next, so see how I upcycle that piece of furniture.